Hello students, today's class will be Salivary Glands Part 2 from Oral Histology. Kindly watch Salivary Glands Part 1 class before entering into this class. In this class, we'll be covering composition of saliva, function of saliva, classification of salivary glands, blood supply and nervous supply. This is in rough the composition of saliva. Saliva is 99.5% water and only 0.5% solids. This 0.5% solids is divided into organic substances, inorganic substances, and gases. Organic substances again comprise of enzymes and other substances. Please note down everything under each subheading. They can be asked as a one word. Glucose is usually absent in saliva, but if a patient is diabetic, you can find glucose in their saliva. This is an important one word to note. Moving on, major components of saliva are mucus, which is a lubricant, amylase, which digests starch, lingual lipase, which helps in fat digestion, electrolytes like sodium, chlorine, potassium, and bicarbonate. These electrolytes, they act as buffer and they moisten food. And the main buffer in the saliva is the bicarbonate system. This is a one word, which is the main buffer in the saliva, bicarbonate, HCO3 minus. Proteins and enzymes are statherins, proline-rich proteins, histatins, lysozymes, and salivary peroxidase. And salivary immunoglobulin is IgA. There are bacteria present in the saliva and also epithelial cells and PMNs. Function of saliva is it protects the oral cavity, it helps in digestion, it helps in mastication and deglutition, it helps in taste perception, it helps in speech, it helps in tissue repair, and it helps in excretion. By excretion, what they mean is many minor compounds which we eat are secreted in the saliva, and that is how it comes out of the body. Classification of salivary glands. Salivary glands are classified into major and minor types. Three major salivary glands are there: parotid, submandibular, and sublingual glands. If you can see in this image, the earlobe is here. In front of the earlobe, in the pre-auricular region, you can see the parotid gland. And the duct of the parotid gland opens opposite to the second upper molar. Parotid gland, Stenson's duct, opens opposite to the second molar. Submandibular gland with its Warthin's duct. And the sublingual gland with its Bartholin's duct. So parotid, submandibular, and sublingual gland. We'll see about each in brief. Then minor salivary glands. There are 600 to 1000 minor salivary glands in the oral cavity. There is a very often repeated MCQ regarding minor salivary glands. Minor salivary glands are not found on dash. Minor salivary glands are not present in three areas: gingiva, hard palate, and dorsum of the tongue. I repeat again. Minor salivary glands are not found in the gingiva, hard palate, and the dorsum of the tongue. Minor salivary glands are of 5 types: labial and buccal glands, which is a mixed salivary gland; glossopalatine glands, which is a pure mucus gland; palatine gland, which is a pure mucus gland again; lingual glands; and von Ebner glands. Kindly note down this image, students. It can be asked as an image-based question. This is the labial gland. This blue area, this is where the labial glands are present along the lip fold. Labial gland. Palatine glands, posterior lingual gland, posterior surface of the tongue, and von Ebner gland is marked in green color. This is the anterior lingual gland and the glossopalatine gland on the sides. Note down this image. Moving on to differentiation between submandibular, sublingual, and parotid gland. Submandibular gland is walnut or J-shaped. Sublingual gland is almond-shaped. Parotid gland is pyramidal in shape. Kindly note down this tabular column, students. Weight of submandibular gland is 10 to 20 grams. Sublingual is 3 to 4 grams and parotid is 25 grams. Secretion of submandibular gland is serous, predominantly serous. Though it's a mixed gland, it is predominantly serous. Sublingual gland is also a mixed gland, but it is predominantly mucus. And parotid gland is predominantly serous in secretion. By mixed, what I mean is the secretion in the submandibular and the sublingual gland will comprise of both serous and mucus secretion, but predominantly submandibular gland is serous and predominantly sublingual gland is mucus. Duct and its specification. Submandibular gland is Wharton's duct. Sublingual gland is Bartholin's duct and the duct of Rivinus, and the parotid gland is the Stenson's duct. Now, the submandibular gland, the Wharton's duct, runs over the hyoglossus muscle. It crosses the lingual nerve and opens opposite to the premolar frenulum. It runs over hyoglossus, it crosses the lingual nerve, and it opens at the premolar frenulum. And the sublingual gland, the Bartholin's duct is the predominant duct. It is the large duct, and it is about 15 ducts open at the floor of the mouth. Duct of Rivinus is the smaller duct. In the sublingual gland, there are two ducts, Bartholin's and Rivinus. Bartholin's is the larger one, Rivinus is the smaller one. Stenson's duct, like we already saw in the image, it opens opposite to the second upper molar. It crosses the masseter and pierces the buccinator. Important one word to note, Stenson's duct of the parotid gland crosses the masseter muscle and pierces the buccinator muscle. Location of submandibular gland is deep to the mylohyoid muscle. Sublingual gland is superior to the mylohyoid muscle. If you can see in this image, the mylohyoid muscle is not given here, but the mylohyoid muscle will be roughly here in this area. Inside or deep to the mylohyoid muscle is the submandibular gland. Superficial to the mylohyoid muscle will be the sublingual gland. And the submandibular gland is encapsulated by the investing layer of deep cervical fascia. Same thing, the parotid gland is also encapsulated by the investing layer of deep cervical fascia. In that region, it is called as the parotidomesenteric fascia. Important one word. The submandibular and the parotid glands are enclosed by investing layer of deep cervical fascia. Blood supply to the submandibular gland. The facial artery, branch of external carotid artery, and the facial vein, which is a branch of the internal jugular vein, constitute submandibular gland's blood supply. Sublingual gland, lingual and submental arteries and veins. Parotid gland, arterial supply, maxillary artery, and superficial temporal artery. They are also branches of external carotid artery. Veins is retromandibular vein and posterior facial vein. Please make a note, students. Coming to nerve supply, sensory nerve supply of submandibular gland is lingual nerve. Sublingual gland is lingual nerve again, and the parotid gland is auriculotemporal nerve. Secretomotor nerve supply to the parotid gland, that is nerve supply which stimulates salivary gland secretion. This is the secretomotor pathway. Kindly note down, this is very important. You will be asked MCQs like, which does not constitute the secretomotor pathway of parotid gland? Options will be given. You should pick which is not there. The parotid gland starts with inferior salivatory nucleus in the lower pons, preganglionic fibers, glossopharyngeal nerve, which stimulates the tympanic branch, which in turn stimulates the tympanic plexus, and from there the lesser petrosal nerve, aortic ganglion, it relays in the aortic ganglion, and from the aortic ganglion, postganglionic fibers arise. The auriculotemporal nerve stimulates the parotid gland finally. Now, the auriculotemporal nerve is the secretomotor nerve of the parotid gland. Then the submandibular and sublingual have same pathway, same secretomotor pathway. They start from the superior salivatory nucleus, followed by facial nerve, followed by cauda tympani, which is the secretomotor nerve supply to the submandibular and sublingual gland. There it was auriculotemporal in parotid gland. Here it is cauda tympani, followed by lingual nerve, submandibular ganglion, auriculotemporal nerve, and the submandibular gland. We are ending this session. MCQs. Secretomotor supply to the parotid gland is options: cauda tympani, auriculotemporal, lingual, and inferior alveolar. Answer is option B, auriculotemporal. Secretomotor supply to the sublingual and the submandibular gland is cauda tympani. Parotid is auriculotemporal. Second one, which of the following is predominantly present in saliva? Which immunoglobulin? Answer is IgA. That's all for this class, students. Thank you.